What's up, everybody? It's April Dawn. I'm here to do my season 2 Underground episode 4 review, Nok Aaut. I think it's knockout. It's spelled like N-O-K-A-U-T-T. Somebody tell me what that means, okay? I'm just assuming it means knockout because that's what it sounds like, okay? So, it was a pretty good episode last night. To me, it was more like a filler episode, but I understand, we have to have these kind of episodes for the show to progress and move on and like develop and establish a plot line. So we had a lot going on with our bromance with Kato and Noah. They worked out some of their issues tonight. We also we saw Rosalie for a minute, but we didn't really see her because, we'll talk about that later. But, and what else? Who else did we see? We saw a lot of Elizabeth tonight, okay? So we did not see Ernestine this week, which has made me sad because, I love Ernestine. So anyway, let's get started. So Daniel is at the master's house giving his money away like he do every day after his work day, and a slave comes up to him and asks him to read an important letter. He says it's important. So Daniel sneaks around the tree and he reads the letter and basically says that all the masters are scared of some man that's coming into town or something along that line. I think it might be, is it that, you know what? I didn't put that together, but it could be the man that's with Elizabeth and them later on, John somebody. And so all the masters are trying to sell their slaves, and they're recommending that this slave master sell his slaves. So the slave tells Daniel that he wants him to teach him how to read, and Daniel tells him that, although he knows how to read, like it's a great thing now he can read, it opens up so much of the world for him, and it makes him realize how small the world they're living in. So the feelings that he has, now he want to leave. He wants to be free because now he understands that the world is so much bigger than what he's been told and what he knows or whatever. So he says it's like a curse. So Kato is in England. We're in a flashback. Kato is in England 4 months ago, and he's boxing. No, I'm lying, y'all. It was 4 months ago, and they was in the museum. That's what it was. They was in the museum looking at a painting. She's commenting on a painting. Girl, it was like a scene, child. It was like a scene. I'm saying girl, that's a girl. It was like a scene from from like a James Bond movie or something. He was real suave with it. He came in, player. She was looking at the paint. Oh, this is this, child. I don't even know what they was talking about with the paint was cute. It was this, and it's that day, waxing philosophical about the painting in front of them. And then, thank Mr. Provost or Mr. whoever his name is supposed to be for donating this picture. And then, the driver comes in and says, Mr. Prevost or whatever his name is, your car is ready. So she was like, dang, it's you. And he was like, yeah, girl, it's me, girl. I got money. Okay, so they become new boo. That's him, and, that becomes his new boo. All right, and that was pretty much it. They just showed how they met each other. They'll go back to that later. So we're at the sewing club with Elizabeth and the Pussycat Dolls. Okay, so Elizabeth and the Pussycat Dolls are talking about a political rally that's going on. It was like some type of rally vigil or something like that. But it was a rally going on where they were talking about slavery. It was a sin, and they were just, strategizing what they were going to do and how they were going to, make their moves and what they were going to say and who was going to speak. So her and Georgia are talking about this. Elizabeth is supposed to have the speaking order. She seems a little flustered, like she doesn't know what's going on, but she gets it together. Her and Olivia, why I keep calling that lady Olivia? Her name is Georgia, child. Georgia. Her and Georgia have a little heart-to-heart. And Georgia illuminates the fact, she lets us know that she's not a good orator. She's not a good speaker. She doesn't like to speak in public, but she was writing a speech. So we'll see. And they were talking about the guy that's coming down. God forgive me, I don't remember his name. Somebody Lucas, John Lucas. I don't know, something like that. And he's coming down, and they were talking about his philosophy. So basically, we're getting into the duality between these storylines with Noah and Kato and Elizabeth and John Lucas and Georgia are that people might want the same things in the end, but they believe in different ways of getting it. Kind of like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. We wanted the same things, but they, some people believe you should take it by force. Some people believe you should do it the peaceful way. So Lucas and the crew, okay, they believe in turning up. We finna go turn up. We finna beat you until you understand that this is not right. Okay, this is not cool. This is not right. So They just talked about, you know, the differences between them two. So we can see that Elizabeth, now that John is dead and she feels some type of way and she can't just go shoot nobody for no reason. Okay, now we can see that she gonna kind of, you know, get to the reckless side, or she gonna get to the more violent side of the abolitionist movement, child. We can see that this is where this is going. They foreshadowed the hell out of that. If they ain't do nothing else, child, they foreshadowed that for us. Okay, it was very clear by the time we actually got to the speech at the rally. Okay, so they did talk about how the John Lucas and the crew had went and, you know, they did some raids on some white folks and stole some slaves and killed some people in their sleep, you know, straight Nat Turner style. Like, we don't have time to play with you. This is not right. Okay, so we go back to the soul. They hear something in the walls. They walking through. They see Rosalie. She made it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. She made it. She made it. Won't he do it? Won't he will? She did. She made it out, and she's in the tunnel, girl, dead to the floor. Okay, and so they bring her in, you know, and we'll come back to her later. So we're skipping back. Noah wakes up. Noah is in a house that is very nice. Now we know this is Kato's house, or something to do with Kato, because he is the master now. Okay, he got money. Remember, he got money. So Noah wake up. He see a little shaving kid, girl. He shaved that face so we can see all that fine again. You know, he ain't covered up no more. My God, no. All this. But anyway, let me stop being a thought. He go downstairs and he sees that Kato is practicing fighting with a trainer. And so, you know, him and Kato, Kato says, oh, you've never been to Philly before, so I'm going to show you around or whatever. And he said, you know, Kato, you should be thanking me for not turning you into them people, child, to make sure you ain't back down up in Georgia picking no cotton, boo. So anyway, he said he going to show him around town. So they go to the club. I guess it's the club. So they at the club. And Kato is with Boo Thing. And he a little jealous, a little somebody. Now, I'm not sure if this was a flashback. Child, I'm all confused. Okay, I don't know what the hell going on. We might have been in the flashback when that happened, okay? Because I was thoroughly confused about how... Yeah, I think the girl was just flashback. She wasn't never with us in the present day. I think. Something like that. Yeah, somebody explained it to me because I was a little lost on that part. So anyway, because I was trying to take notes too, y'all, I really had to watch the episode 2 times because the first time I'm taking notes, you know, it's hard to pay attention and get everything and write at the same time. So I really only watched it once. So I'm now that I'm thinking about it, I think we was in a flashback. So we flashed back to England where he was with Boo Thing, and you know, somebody was hitting on Boo Thing or saying something to her that was out the way, and you know, he was like, you know, he was ready to bust that bit went on. Okay, so he got upset and he was about to fight him. She was like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that or whatever. Like, you need to learn how to control your anger and control your mouth, control yourself, okay? And you know, he say okay, but then when they go back and he pour him some wine, he take the bottle like, I'm in a hint, he like, turn up, okay? I'm finna turn up because he disrespected you. So he go bust the man with a bottle, okay? And then he throws some money in the air, and you know, the people just leave him alone. And she run out behind him and like, you know, I love you. I just want to know you. You're running around trying to pretend like you belong in their world. And, you know, she says she Indian and British and people look at her some type of way. And, you know, being discriminated against or treated bad is not American invention. And, you know, she trying to know him. She wants to know him, girl. She's different. She's ride or die, okay? She wants to know him. And she thought that he would be able to trust her after a certain amount of time. Now, I feel like, okay, yeah. She said he trying to prove that he belonged with the crowd. She want to know him. XYZ. Okay, so he says if he tells her the truth about himself, much like Jake on Scandal, if he tells the truth about who he is, he's a monster. And she would just see him that way and she wouldn't love him no more. And she say, baby, I love you. Okay? With all your flaws. I love you, boo. I'm ride or die. And I was like, child, bye. Until you run through the woods with a potato sack on in a full sweat, girl. Bye, girl. You ain't no ride or die because you don't know. You don't know his story, girl. You ain't no ride or die, child. Stop it. So Anywho, we back to doctor. The abolitionist doctor is here to see Rosalie. He is here. He said Rosalie will be okay, but her body needs time to heal. And what the tie-in we got with Ernestine this season, next episode, is that he gave her the laudanum or whatever they're taking. That's what Rosalie and them are inhaling. Y'all looked it up. It's like an opiate, and it helps you. I don't know if it's a pain reliever, but I looked it up. A lot of people use it. Thank you, Vero, for letting me know what it was. But yeah, so it's like a medicine that was prescribed, and people can abuse it. You can get hooked on it. And so Ernestine and them are taking that, and so it's just interesting that they prescribed that for her. Well, not really interesting, but it was like a tie-in. So we didn't see Ernestine this episode, but we did get the tie-in with Rosalie. So Rosalie, no lines, no nothing, okay? And Elizabeth is sitting over her body. She's basically like, Elizabeth is talking reckless. Elizabeth ready to turn up, and she says she doesn't want to lose Rosalie either. It was kind of it was a little poignant to see them sitting right there, and she was just like, I can't lose you either. I just felt so bad for Elizabeth at that moment, because she going through it, y'all. Elizabeth going through it. And Liz is going through it, y'all. So, Noah and Kato are now in a restaurant. Baby, Noah looked like he fresh up out of slavery, okay? Because he looking around like, I ain't never seen no nigga up in no city. That's a nigga on a horse? Who is that? That's a nigga on a horse? Y'all, I swear to God. That's like one of the funniest lines from a movie I've ever seen. If you've never seen Django Unchained, there's a part where Jamie Foxx is on the horse and he riding through town for the first time, because he works with the bounty hunter, so he ain't no slave. When he's riding through the town, Samuel L. Jackson character, he played like he is like Uncle Ruckus, and so he says, who is that? Because everybody look at him or whatever. He said, ain't that's a nigga on the horse? Is that a nigga on the horse? They ain't never seen no nigga on the horse. It was just hilarious. It was hilarious, okay? But that's how they was looking at him. That's how Noah was looking like, what the hell? Where am I at? I don't believe this is happening, right? So, Kato says, Noah left him for dead, and, he wants to talk to him, but they need to have a talk like grown men. That's why they're in a restaurant. But, he know that Noah don't want to talk to him, because he know that Noah think he got a plan. And then he start outlining about the plan. You got a knife under the table, and, but what about the 2 men at the door? They're my men and the men outside, because one thing America can buy you is money and people with, guns or whatever. So, baby, I don't know, because my thing was Noah had a suitcase full of money, y'all. It wasn't like it was millions of dollars in there or nothing. So he must have flipped that. He need to teach a class, okay? Rich dad, poor dad, rich slave, poor slave child, because I need to know what's good. I need to know what's really good, because he out here flipping money, baby. He got houses and employees and staff, and what's really hood, Kato? You know what I'm saying? Help your people out. Because Kato is one of them characters, child, just love him, you hate him, you love him, you hate him. I don't know if Kato would be teaching no classes to help the people out, child. I don't know if he would be giving back to the people. Kato would be like, do you, I'ma do me, okay? Type of person. Don't do that, Kato. Help the people out. We were trying to get our credit together, too. Okay, tell us how you flip that change. Okay, we want to get in the game. So they eating at the restaurant, yeah. So he outlined the plan, and basically that's the plan that Noah had, and Kato just go ahead and cancel that because it's not gonna work. It was a cross cut between them. Noah says that he has freed people. He has done stuff for people, and when is it gonna be his time? But I'm trying to see. Kato has a thought. Says he has to. Kato says he started out for Noah, and basically Noah slams the knife on the table. I don't know if that's okay for that or not, but he says he started out for him already. So we cross cut to to Kato, and he's boxing. So he's a boxer, and the homegirl, Indian Barbie, she told him, she gassed him up. He was losing the fight. She gave him the pep talk, Adrian, you know what I'm saying? And he went out there and beat the tar out the man. So we know that he's a fighter. So for me, this lets me know as a viewer that some type of way this is going, because you can't fight forever. You can't compete at that level forever. There's going to be some type of decline. Something is going to happen where Kato is going to unravel, because all of this ain't going to last forever. Something is going to happen, So basically, I forgot about at the table, Noah said something to Kato. about, hold up, I don't know if that was later, because we cross-cut to that scene quite a few times. So it cross-cut to, basically Noah was saying, hold up, let me look at my notes, y'all, let me see. Okay, so Elizabeth, we going back, because I'm just going in order, because that's how I took my notes. Elizabeth and the Pussycat Dolls, they meet at the sewing lair to discuss the rally situation with the guy, Lucas, whatever. So, you know, we can see Elizabeth giving him the eye. He giving her the eye, child. So I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? John ain't even fresh up in the grave, girl. He ain't been in the grave that long. You already finna give it to somebody else. But, child, I guess, because we know Elizabeth is stone cold cuckoo when she wants to be. Okay, so they're going back and forth debating about, you know, the methods that they used, you know, for the abolitionist movement. And dude about that action, he ready to go and get it popping. So he could kind of see that Elizabeth, you know, is getting his point of view, and so he asked, can Elizabeth go with him to make sure that he don't get in trouble or whatever, to chaperone him. Child, I was like, okay, ground. So we back to Noah. Noah and Kato are still arguing about this, and Noah says something about and Kato says something to Noah, and Noah quips him with you know, why you not out here looking for your daughter and your wife? Okay, you know, like, why you trying to play me? You know what I'm saying? You acting like you so much better than me. Why are you not looking for your wife and your daughter? And then Kato go off on him, and and then Noah says, that's when Noah starts to say, you can fool everybody, you can do this, you can do that, you can talk like this, boy, but you can't fool me. You was a slave driver, you know what I'm saying? You was still the most evil slave driver I ever met in my life, and you know you don't even deserve this life or whatever, and you know it, and you know you don't deserve this life. And in the middle of that scene, we flash back to when Kato was with old girl with Indian Barbie, and they was having sex, girl, and it was the signs of love. It was pretty too, because it was like caramel and toffee mixed together, so it was real cute. It was real cute. And I mean, do Kato strike me like he don't like black girls? Okay, he just looked like he don't like black girls. Because, and then the one black girl he liked, she, you know, she probably got hung from a tree, child, or something like that. So, you know, she ran away or got killed, or he got sold away or whatever. So he probably just like, child, I want somebody who ain't got nothing to do with America, child, because I ain't got time for baggage, because I got enough. Okay, so you see it? But anyway, they was doing a do, and then he pulls out a ring and he proposed. But see, for me, my issue with that is that he didn't get on his knee and propose, baby. You could just put on the ring. I'd be like, okay, it's beautiful. But are you proposing? I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Okay, so, but anyway, he proposed to her. And it was cute or whatever. And, you know, he was in love. Because Noah was telling him, you know, he ain't got no heart, and he ain't got no this and that and blah, blah, blah. So they back to arguing at the table, child. So Noah say, let's spill tea. Okay, this is when he says, you're not out looking for your wife and your baby. Because he was like, oh, let's talk about this. Oh, let's talk about how you was this. Oh, okay, we spilling tea. Oh, all right, let's talk about how you looking for your wife. Let's talk about this and let's talk about that. He still ain't say nothing about Zeke. Okay, because Noah talking about, he said, you know, those people are on my, you know, deaths are on me. Henry, you know, Moses and Pearlie Mae, Henry, Moses, somebody else that died. All the deaths are on him or whatever. But he was like, or Sam too, maybe. But he was like, you know, he ain't say nothing about Zeke. Because I'd have been like, but, you know, why you out here charging me up and you getting all mad and you making vendettas and plots and master plans, child? What about Zeke? His death is on you. Don't nobody care about Zeke. What about Zeke? Okay, so, anyway, they still going back and forth, arguing at the table like they go together, child. It was too much. I'm like, y'all doing a lot of back and forth. He says Noah is selfish, you know, and they're going back into the deaths on him or whatever. And Kato says now, if he say he's sorry or whatever, now he can prove it. So we're back to Elizabeth and old dude. They breaking into something like the voters. She said, what if voters was here? So it's some type of, you know, voting situation place where they at. I don't know. Polling place. I don't know. And so he up in there tearing stuff up. He just took a bat and he just started tearing stuff up. So him and her are talking, and she says, why? What made you want to get to this story? This is one of my favorite parts in the whole show, y'all. When the white man started telling the story, Lucas, John, whatever his name is, he started telling the story about how, you know, every day when he was a kid, he walked by this plantation, and one day he walked by and he heard this sound. His dad, there was a boy crying because his dad had been put in the blocks, what do they call them, in the stocks, you know, when the head and the hands. So he put him in the stocks, and he said the people only gave him enough water to survive. They didn't feed him. So every day when he walked by, he saw the man wasting away and wasting away and wasting away until he died. He said he had made up in his mind he was gonna get him a piece of cheese. His mama gave him a piece of cheese, an apple, and like a piece of bread or something like that in the morning for lunch. So he said, I had made up in my mind I was gonna give him a piece of cheese. I didn't care what happened. But when he went over there to give it to him, the man did not move. The man was dead. So and then she says, oh my God, you know, is that the truth? And then he said no. He's talking about it's a damn lie. Okay? He said slavery is wrong, and that's it. Shit, I ain't got to tell you no story. I ain't got to tell you no story, girl. We ain't got to relate. We ain't got to do that. I shouldn't have to go through something traumatic to know that wrong is wrong and right is right, and you don't own people. You don't own people. You don't. You can't do that. Like, you cannot own another person. Like, what? I ain't got to have no story. I was here for it, okay? I was here for it. And he told her something about her husband. You know, the fact that your husband got killed behind this should be enough for you to want to go fight for it, girl. Okay, your husband got killed behind this. And I forgot to say that when Rosalie was in the bed earlier with Elizabeth, you know, she was just like, I can't believe they beat this woman like this, and she is pregnant within an inch of her life. This is horrible. And so you can see all the rage that she has for John, instead of, because I thought maybe for a moment she was going to turn away from the movement just because John died because of it. But it seems like it's going to put her more into the movement, but more radicalized. Because so now, you know, she really getting a hold of this. We like, oh, okay. All right, so Noah brings, back at the ranch with Kato, he has assembled some men and women, about 7 men or women that are slaves, and he says that if Noah submits himself willingly back to slavery, that he will let all these people go to freedom. So if Noah really wants to atone for the people that have died, you know, because of him, he will do it. So he goes back and forth, he goes back and forth, he goes back and forth. And I'm sitting in my house like, child, I'll be like, no, I didn't run through the swamp. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like he said, people have died, but everything that he's done has been to protect his family or protect his or whatever. And everybody knew what the risk was when they left. It's not like if we running from the plantation, we think everybody gonna end up happy. We hope. You know what I'm saying? You are putting your life on the line to be free, to have freedom. So I wouldn't give that up. I'm sorry, I wouldn't give it up either. I don't blame him for that. I don't. So he went back and forth. You can tell he wrestled with it. He really did wrestle with it. But he said no ultimately. And he let them all, and Kato, you know, had them take him away or whatever. So, yeah, and then that's it. So they went back. So Kato is fighting again, okay? So we flashback, I guess, again, and Kato is fighting. And he wakes up. I'm sorry, he gets knocked out this time. He wakes up crying. Yeah, everybody's screaming at him to wake up because now he's losing the fight. This is when Indy and Barbie give him the pep talk, and he goes and beat the trash out of the dude. He beat the dog crap out of the next dude, okay? So, and that was it. I liked the music for this scene. It was really good. Some of the music tonight was kind of awkward. I'm not gonna lie to you. The music at the beginning kind of threw me off a little bit. I didn't really like it. But the music during that fighting scene was really, really good. And at the end, very, very good. So, we're at the rally, okay? And so Georgia is getting ready to make her speech, and she walks up there, and Georgia's saying, you know, words can help too. It don't always have to be violence. But when she goes up there to make the speech, she gets stage fright, and she runs away. So Elizabeth goes up, as we knew she would, because they had the whole talk about the orator. You know, it was a little foreshadowing that Elizabeth was going to end up speaking. And then, you know, we got the little radicalism. So I'm like, what is she going to say when she gets up there? You know how people be like, what's she going to say? What is she going to say, Jesus? So she got up there and she started talking. She reads the speech for the most part. The crowd is cheering. You know, slavery is a sin. This is wrong. X, Y, and Z. Then she started taking a left turn, and then she starts speaking from the heart. baby, she was saying it. I was like, you better say it. And then she started talking about, if we can't, peace is not achievable, then violence is inevitable. And then the people started getting mad, child, because she started talking about, it's about to be a war, big. Okay, we about to turn up, and it's time. Okay, and so she had went to the left. People started fighting at the riot, and somebody threw a stone and hit her head. Now this whole time we cross-cutting with Noah and Kato finally fighting. Okay, I was so here for it. I was ready for the fight, child. So they was fighting each other, and Noah got the best of Kato. Okay, I didn't see the whole fight because I was writing, but they was fighting each other. I saw that, and because it was fighting like, bitch, I'm finna fight. I ain't got time. You know what? Let's fight. I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? Who got time? I'm done. Okay, let's do this. And so they started fighting, and Noah, he was winning the fight, and which is surprising to me because Kato can really fight. So that tells you something about Noah. He really can fight or whatever with no training, just straight, living that hard at slave life. Okay, so anyway, Noah was about to kill him. So Kato said, well, why don't you end it right now, or whatever, like basically go ahead and kill me. And Noah was like, no, enough of us been killed by, this man, by the man. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna do his job for him. So Kato tells them to take Noah away. And I hoped at that moment I was like, they ain't finna take him back to slavery. They're not gonna turn him in. Oh Lord! But that's not what happened. So Kato leaves, or we switch back to Kato and old girl in the flashback. Okay, so now the girl wakes up, Indian Barbie wakes up, she sees the deed to the flat they see, and she runs out and chases him. He's getting in a carriage, and she tells him, what the hell is going on? You proposed to me, now you treat me like a hoe, like what's going on? And he was like, I'm leaving. He didn't really say anything. She was like, if you think you can do better, or if you want a better life or something like that. And he said, oh, I do, or something like that. You think you can do better or have a better life? And he said, I do, or I want a better life. Like, I do want better. Basically, like, you trash, girl. Like, he was just being a butthole. You know how when a dude want to break up with you, but he don't want to break up with you. He wants you to break up with him, so he just be mean to you. That's basically what it was. It was like straight high school. So, yeah, because now in my mind, I see how I got this all confused. But yeah, so that was a flashback, and he just totally just was an asshole to her, and then he leaves, and that's it. So they show him, like I said, the cross-cut rally. So we back to the rally, everybody, we hear that piercing sound in Elizabeth's ear. Elizabeth is ready to shoot. She got her gun in her hand. She is ready to shoot the gun, but Georgia steps in at the nigga time, child. Georgia be saving the day, child. Georgia be coming through saving the day. She be like, girl, I know these hoes I run with is not mentally stable, okay? She is ready to turn up. She like your one friend who be like, girl, just breathe, girl. Don't be acting crazy in public, girl. You got a job. Who got bail? I ain't got no bail. I don't get paid till next week. I'm just saying, don't be in the club fighting, girl. Calm down, okay? Like, it wasn't that deep, girl. She gonna beat you up. Don't do that, okay? So, she that friend. So, she grabbed Elizabeth, and, they left the rally. And people were still fighting. It was like a barroom fight. It was crazy. So, cross-cut, Kato was getting ready to leave. He's sitting in the office or whatever, and there his little guy who works for him comes and tells him that the souls have been set free. So basically those 7 people he was going back and forth with Noah about, he went on ahead and sent them on to freedom anyway. Okay, so we see Noah is talking to William still. I think it's in Philadelphia or Virginia, or I don't know where they are, because I thought him and John were in the same place or close to the same area. So, but I guess they dropped Noah off. So Noah is free. He's telling his story. He's saying, everything he did was to protect his family, and he ain't no hero. He's not heroic because he had to do horrible things to get to where he is, but he's free, and he can't trade that feeling for nothing. He's not giving it back. And he says he wouldn't change nothing. He's not heroic, but he wouldn't change anything because he says, and still says to him, you did something for them people they never had before. You gave them a choice. So they did die eventually, all of them died, but they had a choice, which is something that they never had before. They could choose to be free. They could choose to leave. So like I said, like I'm saying, it's not like they didn't know the risk of what could happen when they left. So yes, they died, but that's not on him. They was all trying to get to freedom, and everybody knew that they might not make it, but they took that chance. Okay. So, and then we cross-cut back to Kato and his guy. They're standing on the balcony, I guess on a ship, and he said he's going back to America because America need him. Okay, so It was an excellent episode. Like I said, it was pretty much a filler episode, but I like the way we're going with this. So it'd be interesting to see. My predictions are Elizabeth will end up going deeper into this the Civil War section of the abolitionist movement. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops, because she have a wild streak to her, and I just kind of feel like she gonna do something. She gonna do a Millie and do something she ain't got no business doing. Okay, so that I feel like, well, next week we saw in the preview that, you know, something like I told y'all, them damn borders in that hall with Georgia. Georgia be talking about, oh, they friends of the movement. Oh, it's no big deal. Like somebody it's gonna be a problem later on down the line. So something going on with that. I don't know about Noah. I mean, I see that they're gonna be reunited, y'all. I almost had an orgasm when the door opened and he was right there and they was like, boop, boop. Boop, boop. I promise you, I almost had an orgasm. I was like, oh my God, they back together. Oh my God, he gonna find out she pregnant. Oh my God, it's gonna be so beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait. So Noah and Rosalie are going to be together again next week. I miss Harriet. We did not see Harriet at all this week, but I want to see Harriet. You know, Asia Hines is also on Shots Fired. It took me a while to recognize who she was, okay? It took me a minute to figure out that was her. But yeah, she's an excellent actress. Oh my God. And she is playing Harriet Tubman, girl. Y'all, she playing Harriet Tubman, the hell out of Harriet Tubman. I have a student, and y'all, it's a white girl. She's a 4th grader. Now, and she wrote, they had to write do their writing, and so she wrote a narrative about Harriet Tubman. That's what she picked, and she said, I would love to know how she, found the bravery to stand up against white people, and I'm white. Like, it was just so poignant to read from a 10-year-old, somebody who can be that mature and that self-aware and think outside of themselves. Like, it was a beautiful thing. It gave me a little bit of hope for the future child, because sometimes I just be like, Lord, y'all just pray, okay? Because just keep us lifted over here in the educational system, because I know I'm on a tangent, between that lady they have up there now, I just don't know, y'all. Public school system is going to be changing, okay? It's going to be changing for sure, and I don't know if it's going to be in a good way. We went through a few hard years when we was with Bush. We went through a few hard years, okay? Or we even with Obama the first couple of years when he was trying to get stuff back together. We didn't get a raise. It wasn't no extra money for nothing. Y'all, my budget for music used to be like $1,500. It was like $500. Okay, so like we was already suffering. Now we got our stuff back. It's back together. We moving and grooving. We got all this technology. It's going good. But with this new woman, I just don't know. So that just gave me a little bit of hope. And I just want to say it's just a golden era, y'all, for TV. I feel like in 30 years we'll look back at this era just like I look back at the 90s as being a time for Black, sitcoms, TV shows, and things of that nature. It's for Black drama, y'all. Whether you love it, hate it, because you don't have to like a slave narrative, but there is truly something on for everybody. If you just want to laugh, you can watch Blackish with a little tinge of social issues. You can watch Blackish. You can watch Underground if you really into the historical stuff. I am. I love Underground. You got your church folk. You can watch Greenleaf. You can watch, all the Tyler Perry shows on if you into that type of thing. My mom is. I am not. But there's also, Queen Sugar and Empire. There's something for everybody. There's Being Mary Jane. There is, Atlanta, Insecure, and then Awesomely Lovey is getting a new show. Shonda Rhimes is going to do a show based on her book, I'm Judging You. And y'all, it's so many things that's coming out on TV for Black African Americans, Black people, and we got to support it, okay? I don't know if I'm going to do Shots Fired. What do y'all think? Leave in the comments if you think I should do Shots Fired, because I like Shots Fired. It's a pretty good show. It was a pretty good show. I was impressed with the first episode. So you guys have a blessed week, and I'll see you guys next week, all right? Peace.